Hello and welcome to your November 2021 TarotScopes with me, Intuitive Rene. It's always such a pleasure and an honor to be here with you and to give you a little bit of insight and guidance into the month ahead. So TarotScopes are something that I do once a month, and I do release it the last Friday of the month is when you can expect your TarotScopes, and the videos remain open to you throughout the entire month and even thereafter. TarotScopes are recorded individually for each sign of the zodiac, and I do set the intention that they be applicable and appropriate for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. So if you know what those are, you're welcome to watch those videos as well to get additional insight and guidance. So TarotScopes, basically what we look at doing is we look at getting a little bit of information around all sorts of areas of your life, just to sort of give you an indication of the energy of what's happening, what you can expect, so that you know if you're planning anything, or if anything, if there's something that you're looking at doing or looking at implementing, when is the right time to be doing that. So we do have a quick little peek in at your emotional self, your financial self, your health and well-being, as well as what to look out for and what to be careful of, or what to look forward to for the month ahead. I do work with a combination of tarot and oracle. So we do the oracle card to give us the kind of overall energy for the month, and then we use tarot to get specifics for each of the different areas that we're looking into. And as I said, these are recorded to just help you navigate whatever's going on in your life. So if you find yourself during the month worrying about something, concerned around something, nervous about something, come back to your TarotScope. Come back to TarotScope and have a look, because there may be something in it that will just help you on making the best decision, the right decision for you at that time. So I have changed my video schedule. I used to do a daily tarot readings every single day to give you guidance. Unfortunately, I've had to stop that for now, purely because it's silly season, which means that my diary is jam-packed full of appointments, and I just don't have the time to record videos each day. So at the moment, I'm giving you a week ahead reading on a Sunday. So Sunday morning, 8 a.m. South African time, 8 a.m., 9 a.m.-ish South African time, you will have a week ahead detailed reading to give you the idea, the energy for the week ahead. And then every Friday, I give you some other interesting content. It's normally a pick a card, unless it's the last Friday of the month, in which case it's TarotScopes. So friends, I am also busy recording at the moment the 2022 year ahead video readings that have been ordered. And OMG, I was completely overwhelmed with how many of you booked with me, so thank you so much for that. So I am starting to record those on the beginning of November, and that's going to keep me very, very busy. So I'm so looking forward to doing that. And yeah, to my YouTube channel members, a huge big thank you to each one of you. I do so value and appreciate your time, your energy, and the fact that you connect with me every single week. And for those of you on the top 2 tiers, every Wednesday we do live readings where you get to ask questions and I get to give you detailed answers, and it is always such fun. So if you are thinking about joining and wanting to connect with me and get readings on a weekly basis, do consider clicking that join button right down there. All right, friends, we're going to start off with your reading, and I do hope that you enjoy. If you do, please do remember to give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. Okay, Taurus, let's get into your reading. As you can see, I have shuffled and laid out some cards just to keep things simple, just to prevent you from having to watch me shuffle and lay out so many cards. We are working with 3 different decks today. I've got 2 tarot decks and I have got an oracle deck, and the information on which decks I'm using is in the thumbnail. So if you are curious, you can pop over and have a look there. Taurus, we're going to have a look at starting off with your theme for the month of November. So let's have a look and see what is the theme for the month ahead. Gosh, if I can pick up the cards. Happiness. How fabulous is that? I must say, so far with my recordings, they've all been quite awesome. So happiness is your theme for the month ahead, and I love that. Let's be honest, it's been a really tough year, 2 years. It's been really hard on absolutely all of us, and Happiness is something that we have in short supply at the moment. I notice it in all my readings and all my consults with people that, happiness is, it escapes a lot of us. So happiness as a theme for the month ahead, I think is really wonderful, really awesome. So we're going to bring that, incorporate happiness into the rest of the reading, but let's get into the tarot aspect and let's have a look at from an emotional point of view. What does the month of November have in store for you, Taurus? Month of November for our emotions. Oh my gosh, Eight of Cups. I say oh my gosh because this card came up in the previous zodiac I did, which was Aries. And yeah, so there's a theme developing. Okay, Eight of Cups. Let me actually bring it closer and show you, Taurus. So what we have here, we have this person in the red here represents you, and they're standing in front of a sink full of dirty dishes. I mean, we've got lipstick wine glasses, we've got orange juice, we've got coffee cups, we've got dishes galore. You can see all the bubbles. There's cups in the water as well. Behind them here is an ironing board and an iron with a basket full of laundry. And you know what? That's really something that's not appetizing. But you know what it is? It's about doing our chores, even a mop and a bucket here. It's about doing your chores and it's about honoring the things that we just have to do in life. But look at what they're doing. They've turned their back on all of this. Okay. They've turned their back on their chores. They've turned their back on their responsibilities. And it's almost like they're dreaming about following this pathway outside the window, following this pathway down to the water's edge, to sit and stare at the full moon is where the temptation lies, because they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or a little bit, I'm going to say, even disinterested in doing the chores that they need to do. So, what does this mean for you, Taurus? Eight of Cups on an emotional level, because this has got to do with your emotions during the month of November. You may be feeling a little bit, I'm going to call it overwhelmed. You may be feeling a little bit frustrated. You may be feeling even a little bit irritated around the things that you have to do, okay, on an emotional level. So this could be family drama or family dynamics. It could be related to you in relationships with other people. It could just be generally the kind of cloud hanging over your head. Could be one of frustration, disinterest, and just generally being uninspired. And what this is saying to you, Taurus, is that recognize the feeling, okay? Acknowledge the feeling. Acknowledge when this happens, however often it happens. Acknowledge it and say, you know what? I am just feeling uninspired. I am just feeling uninterested. And instead of beating yourself up about it, instead of being super judgy and critical of yourself about it, why not give yourself a break? Why not allow yourself to take a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, what, even a day, to ignore the chores, to ignore the things that you have to do? Give yourself permission to go and sit at the water's edge and have a little bit of fun, because maybe we just need to unwind. Maybe we just need to relax. Maybe we just need to take the load off. Because if you just force yourself to wash and wash and wash and wash and wash and do all your duties, you're going to start resenting your circumstance. So let's prevent the resentment. Okay, I think that's important for you, Taurus, is to prevent the resentment. I think I'm actually going to use that as your key phrase for the whole reading for the month ahead. Prevent your resentment in the month, because the focus needs to be on happiness and doing chores all the time, doing the things that you're forced to do, the things that you have to do. There's not much happiness in it. But if you give yourself permission to rest, to take a break, to distract yourself even, then you can come back to the chores when you're feeling more renewed and rejuvenated and excited about life. Okay, so I do think that's quite important for you, Taurus. Let's have a look at finances or money, your material possessions. So what is the energy around that for you in the month of November? And we have Ace of Wands, which is great, okay? Because look at her, she's got this blank canvas, all right? So she is an artist. She has got all her paints and her brushes. She has got a beautiful scenery in the background that she is obviously wanting to paint. She's got the blank canvas, so she is feeling inspired. So around the work environment, around the finances, Taurus, you're very inspired this month. It's just around the relationships and the emotions that you're not so inspired. So it's almost like these two are in conflict with each other, isn't it? So your focus is going to be on the things that you can create and the things that you can do. And remember, this has got to do with your career and your finances. you have a blank slate, you have a blank canvas, and you can create anything. And I think that's what probably brings you the most happiness at the moment. Doesn't seem to be much happiness here in the emotional side, but around the work finances, there certainly seems to be a lot of happiness, which is great. So let's take advantage of that. And let's use this creativity that we have. Let's use this inspiration that's available to you to help you overcome this. Maybe we need a little bit more of this inspiration and a little bit less of the duties. Okay. And if you can bring balance between those two, I do think it'll help you to find the happiness that you're looking for, that you need, and that is important for you during the month of November. Okay. Taurus, onto our third card, and this one's got to do with your health and well-being. So the energy around your health and well-being for the month of November, we have got the gorgeous Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana card, and it is often what we refer to as the karma card. In other words, that wheel turns. So I want to actually just, let's bring it closer and show you a little bit what's going on. So we have this mechanic dude. Look at the cheers and the smiles and the happiness on everybody around him's face. You can see he's got a spanner in his hand. He's even got, I thought there was a cup of coffee, but it's his pocket, my bad. And he's even got some screwdrivers and stuff in his pocket. But look what's happening is he's chasing a runaway wheel. So he was obviously working on a car in the background or something, and the wheel has escaped him. And as the wheel, but look at the rainbow, look at the colors that it's creating. And down the bottom here, we have got a honeybee, which is all about sweetness. We've got some money happening, and we also have a butterfly for good luck. So it's basically saying to you that an accident, and when I say an accident, I don't mean as in a car accident, okay? Just eliminate that thought from your mind immediately. But it's an accident of something running away with you that's actually going to bring you luck. So what this is saying to you, Taurus, remember this is now in the position of your health and well-being. This is Spirit saying to you that during the month of November, the focus needs to be on happiness. So when it comes to taking care of your physical self, when it comes to taking care of your diet, your exercise, your physical being, all of those kind of things, whatever happens, just go with it. Just run with it. Just allow it to run down the hill. Follow it, pursue it, keep up with it, and make sure that you do it with enthusiasm, laughter, and a bit of happiness, because the changes that are coming your way are definitely going to move you towards happiness and joy. Okay, from a physical thing. So when a happy accident happens, go with it, run with it. So you may find that, and just as a really kind of random, crazy example, you may have a friend phone you up and say, listen, I have just registered you and I to do a 10-kilometer fun run. And if you're not really a runner, you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do it. This is Spirit saying to you, go for it, but do it from an element of fun and happiness and laughter. And if you tackle it from that point of view, actually it might work out really well for you. You may actually have a surprising outcome. So don't be too rigid or too stuck in your thought processes in your health and well-being during the month. Just go with the flow and see where it leads you, because it may be quite interesting. Alrighty, I like that, Taurus. I actually quite like that. Okay, so down the bottom here, we have two more cards, and they are teeny little cards because I was running out of space on the table to fit into the camera, so I have to use a second tarot deck. And this is, we're asking two different questions here. What is it that you need to embrace this month, and what is it that you need to be careful of or mindful of? And the fact that we're using another whole different tarot deck means that we're giving these same cards an opportunity to come through again if they so need to. So it'll be quite interesting to see if we have anything like that happens. But Taurus, let's have a look. What do you need to embrace? What does Spirit want you to embrace during the month of November? And the card that we have here is the Hermit card. So the Hermit card is also a major arcana card, but the Hermit card is the card of solitude, card of introspection. It's the card of recognizing the self and not looking externally at other people. So here with the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, we've got all these other people on the card, but these two were very solitary. And I think the Wheel of Fortune is, the Hermit card is basically saying to you, embrace who you are, embrace your own self. When you're having these emotional situations, nobody's going to fix it for you. Nobody's going to come through and help you with it. When you are inspired to work with your career and your finances, again, it's all you. Your happiness is dependent on you. It's not dependent on anybody else. even though here with your health and well-being, we're saying take advantage of the happy accidents that may happen, the surprising things that may take place. Run with it and go with it. But your happiness is dependent on you. It's not dependent on an external factor. So because that's your theme, and because this is something that you need to embrace, if you don't work on finding happiness within yourself first and foremost, you're never going to find it externally. And I do think that ties in, especially with this one, with your emotional well-being for the month. So Taurus, definitely focus on finding inner happiness, finding your inner self, and just being okay with who and what you are as you are. Don't be so hard on yourself. Alrighty. And now our last one here. This is what you need to be careful of for the month ahead. So for the month of November, what do you need to be mindful of, careful of? And I can't even pick the card up. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense to me. What we have over here is the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is quite a complex card, if I can use that phrasing, because it's saying that, sometimes you have to do things that you don't really like to do, or sometimes you have to do things that they don't really sit well with you. Sometimes you have to be the villain in a situation, okay? And we don't like it. It's not part of your nature. It's not part of who you are. You're not normally the kind of person who wants to be that villain. So Taurus, this is Spirit saying to you, be careful of this. Be careful of being, I'm going to label it as sarcastic. I'm going to label it as bully-ish, okay? Be careful of the way that you think, the way that you react, and the way that you are speaking to people. Be very careful of that, because maybe, especially when this comes up, all right, especially when you're feeling a little bit, yeah, a little bit grumpy, let's put it that way, a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit unhappy with your situation. Be very mindful of the way you're expressing yourself, and be very mindful of your actions around that as well, because you may have the tendency to put your foot in it. Just gonna put it like that. And remember, your theme for the month is happiness. Your theme for the month is about happiness and finding happiness in all that you do. So if you're not careful of the way you respond and react to situations, if you're pushing too hard, then I can understand that. All right, I really can understand that. So this is just something to be careful of. Stick it in the back of your mind, stick it in your back pocket, and just remind yourself of it as you go through the month, especially when you have an emotional, difficult situation, circumstance that you're working through. Then that's when you need to really bring this into it. Alrighty. So, Taurus, it certainly does look like you're in for a fabulous, interesting, wonderful month ahead. You know what you need to focus on. You know what's important, what's coming up for you. And I do hope that this helps you. I do hope that this helps you to find the happiness that you so deserve for the month ahead. Have a good November. And as always, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.